Hey everybody, I'm here for a Mommy Monday today. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about reading. My girls are 4.5 and they both do have some kind of speech delay in some way. Now, they have been in speech therapy for the past year, and Veggie is actually going to be graduating out of speech therapy with this year, and then Bop will be continuing on with speech therapy next year. She's still a little bit behind, a little bit difficult to understand. I really wanted to get on to what we're doing for reading, how we're working on it, what works for us, that kind of thing. Something I really want to talk about first is a definition that I have come up with. Everybody talks about attention span and children's attention span needing to be pretty good for tasks like reading and writing, which is true, but I find there's a difference between attention span and what I call focus span. So attention span is defined as more of a want. So attention span is wanting to sit and read and listen and all that, and then focus span is something that is my term, and I find that even though my girls really want to sit and read and listen and do these things, it's sometimes really hard for them to physically sit still. And it's not necessarily their attention span, because they're still paying attention to whatever it is, but they're not physically able to sit and focus on that one thing. So that's what their focus span is, the ability to actually sit and focus on that one thing as opposed to fidgeting and that kind of thing. So for us, I have found that their focus span wasn't caught up to their attention span. They have these great attention spans, but their focus span was really small. It was more in terms of fidgeting. So they would be trying to read a book and really wanting to read it, but they were moving so much, especially if they were having a little bit of a hard time with a word or a sound, that it was preventing them from finishing things or from focusing enough to do what they're wanting to be doing. So I tried some weighted blankets and weighted balls and stuff, and also had one of their teachers try it in school, and we found that that helped them a lot. Our lovely friend, Miss Megan Alley Doodles, I feel like I mention her in every vlog now, but we had a little play date get together a week or so ago, and she brought us a big bag of goodies, and in this big bag of goodies was one of those, like, you microwave it and then put it around your neck and it's supposed to relieve tension and stuff. It has the scented rice, but it's a cute little leopard, and then it's really long, it's supposed to go around your neck. And we actually don't have a microwave right now, so we can't use it for that purpose, but since I hadn't yet made my weighted blankets for the girls and the weighted pillows, we doubled it up and we've been setting it across their lap, and that is enough weight that it holds them down. So basically I feel like whenever they're reading or doing a task and their focus span isn't good enough, it feels like they're just kind of flying away. Like they're still paying attention, they really want to be there, but their body is just going. Kind of anchors them down and keeps them there, and that's been really helpful. It's been dang near essential since we got it, so thank you so much, Megan Alley Doodles. Something I've also been recently keeping with us is an alphabet chart. This has been really helpful lately because some of the books they're getting into have a D and a B or a D and a P or whatever in the same word, and that's been kind of hard for them. What's interesting is the fact that when we have a page that has A, B on it but no other D or P on it, they are totally fine. They know which one it is, solid. But as soon as there is a word or a sentence that has a B and a D in it somewhere, everything just kind of goes to, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So then we reference this one, and they can look at, oh, this one's the B. And we've also been working on the B has the bump in the back. So we've been working on those things, but this chart has been really helpful. Also, if there's a letter in particular that for some reason they're just not remembering what the sound is, they can look at the picture and say, oh, U says umbrella, It's not something that they use every time. It's not something that they need every time, just sometimes. But we've been keeping that on hand. As you might remember, around Christmas, we got them Bob books. They really love these books. They are great. This one came with 18 in the set, but the last 6 are the first 6 in set 2. So really, each set comes with 12 books to read. This is beginners. It's doing letter sounds, just super simple, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 word sentences, very simple concepts and sounds. Matt, sat, Sam, that kind of thing. This is the first book. And so what we have to do, because the girls like to make up stories with what they're seeing in the pictures, which is great. It's a great skill to have. But while we're learning to read the words, we really want them to read the words. So we have to cover up the picture. So I take one of the other books, I cover up the picture, they sound it out, then do all of the letter sounds really long. So I'll have them do at, mat, and then they're really able to shorten it so that they go, oh, mat, and then they move on to the next word. For these sentences, they've kind of gotten past that point for the most part, unless it's like a really new word or a kind of a hard word. They will sound out, say the word for each one, and then I have them do it until they can actually read the whole sentence without having to sound out a word. Sometimes it takes a few times, sometimes it takes taking a break, taking a little dance break, that kind of thing. But once they're finished reading that sentence, they get to look at the picture. And then also every few pages, I'll ask them questions about what has happened, what they think is going to happen, who we're reading about, how we spell Matt's name, and they'll sound it out and spell it by themselves. And then at every last page has the end. First I thought it was just kind of weird, but whatever, it says the end, cute. But every time we flip the page and we get to this last page and they see the end picture and the end word, they get so excited and so proud. Every time it's like, we'll be on, any other page, and they'll get through it and they'll read it and they'll answer the questions I ask, whatever. And then as soon as we flip to this, I'm almost there every time. And they're just so proud of themselves, and it's awesome. So Bop is still on set 1. She has read 10 of the 12 books and is through 10 of the 12 books. And Veggie is on set 2 and almost through set 2. She's read 8 of the 12 books and is moving through them at lightning speed. These are advancing beginners. The next set is word families, which we've already been reading some word family books from our library, which I'll get to in a second. These have more advanced sentences, more advanced words, has a lot of words that has a B and a D in the same word and that kind of thing. So they're kind of trying to start tripping them up to see how they can progress, that kind of thing. And I adore Bob books. It's a simple picture, it's a simple sentence, it progresses really nicely, and it's almost as if you don't really notice the progression. And then there's the end factor, which is awesome. You're also working on sight words. We're doing that with having things labeled around the house. And then, again, in that awesome bag of goodies, gave us some sight word flashcards. There's 36. They're double-sided, so there's 72 words in here. And we've been going through these. A lot of the words, like and or the, they've really gotten to know, so they can just kind of spout it out whenever they see and. They go, Mom, that says and. Yeah, it says and. At our library, we have these flip-a-word books, and these are all word family books. And I'm actually going to buy them on Amazon or eBay because they're awesome. They're all fairly easy. So each book has 3 word families in it. So the Ought family, they each start out with just 1 word on each page. Yes, the first word in this book is snot. And then some of them have like cutouts for the next page, makes it kind of interesting for the kids. And then once they have 4 words of each family sound, they start putting them together into pictures. So there was hot, there was pot, there was snot, and there was tot in here. So then they put them together in different combinations to make different words. In the end of each of these books is the words that they used. And then there's this last page, which I love because I can sit there and tell them to find all of the it words, and then they sit there and find all the it words, and they love pointing out which ones. Look, that one's an it word, and look, that one's an it word, but this one's not an it word because it has ought, so that's an ought word. And then each week when we go to the library, they get to pick out some level 1, and if we happen to find any pre-level 1 books, and then we always get a Dr. Seuss book. I think level 1 was probably not the right level for what these books are, because there are a lot of words like school. I would consider them either right before level 1 or at a level 1, but school is not a word I would expect them to know yet, or roar, or giraffe with a G being J instead of G. That kind of thing makes that not a level 1 to me, but those are all in level 1 books. So what I started noticing was that there are some newer pre-level 1 books that are more what I would consider an actual base level. We get pre-level 1s and level 1s, and what we do with the level 1 books is we'll go through and they can sound out words. If there's something I don't think that they could read, like this sentence, I would have them read all of these things, and then if there's something that I know they're going to have a problem with, like giraffes, they're not going to be able to read on their own, I'll read that word. And it's kind of the same with Dr. Seuss. So Dr. Seuss, most of the things they can read, but some words they really can't. I would point to the words that they're going to read, A, and then I would read green, and then they'll read that one. I'll point, I'll read it, and I'll point. So they can kind of read some and I'll read some. That way it's not too frustrating. I don't want them to get too overwhelmed and then hate reading because they love it so much at this point. So those are the things we're doing. I will insert some clips, of course not showing their faces, but that's where we're at with reading. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to make a suggestion in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. So it says
Ted and Ted.
Okay, so Ted has a pet. What? What? Hen, which is a chicken. And Peg has a pet. Pig.
I'm almost there. I got more.
One more.
I'll just start.
Super cool. Who are the two people in this book? Ted and Peg. And Peg had a pet pig. And the pig was pink. And Ted had a pet
Hen.
and the hen was
Red.
okay.
What is this? Mom and Dad had 10 kids.
Count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Who has the kids?
The Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad. How many kids do they have?
10
10. And where are the kids sitting?
on their mom. Okay. Kids. Got. Got.
No.
Look at it. To bed.
Who's saying, okay, kids, get to bed?
Their parents.
How do you know that they're saying it?
Because there's a mouse.
There's the mark, quotation marks. So we know somebody's saying it. And who's saying it?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
The. O.
Aw.
Ought. Family. Ought. Snot.
Snot. Snot. I like that snot is the first word in this book.
Top.
Now, let's spell nap. N.
N.
A.
A.
Please stop.
P.
Let's spell bed. B. What says b?
B.
E.
A.
E.
A.
D.